Hey everyone, welcome to Encore. This is Corin, and today we're going to talk about the new policies that they have when you are going to take advantage of the Back2Mac program at Mac. Hey everyone, welcome back. So I had the opportunity to go finally to a mall after weeks because I'm not able to pretty much go anywhere. I'm not allowed to drive and stuff like that. So I went to the mall, and of course the first store I went to was the Mac store, and I haven't had a chance to shop there for weeks. And I bought a few things I'm going to show you. Okay, I bought a lot of things, and I'm probably going to do a haul video, I don't know. So I'll probably show you guys what I got. And it'll be in a separate video. So I'm like a kid in a candy store because I haven't been to a Mac store for quite a while, and of course I'm always like a kid in a candy store every time I go to a Mac store. Or a Michael's. Alright, so anyway, I pulled Melissa. Melissa's the store manager at the Mac store I go to, and I asked her about Back2Mac because I've been hearing a lot of different comments from different people saying that, you have to do this now and you have to turn this now and stuff like that. So I just kind of pulled her on the side and asked her, okay, what is the new policy with Back2Mac? Now, before I share with you what she has shared with me, I just wanted to briefly go over what Back2Mac is. For those of you who doesn't know, Back2Mac is the recycling program that they have at Mac, wherein when you turn in 6 containers, you get a free lipstick. Now that's pretty, standard with all the Mac stores and the Mac counters, like in the department stores like Nordstrom's or Macy's. Now, recently, I think at the beginning of the year, all the freestanding stores, now just the Mac stores, you can now have a choice between lipstick, a lip gloss, or an eyeshadow. So you have a choice between those 3. But in the counter stores, you will only get the standard lipsticks. Okay, so I asked Melissa, what is the new policy? And apparently, Mac in the last 2 months, I believe it was 6 weeks or so, has changed a policy on their Back2Mac program. So I asked her what they are, and she has nicely, shared the information with me, and now I'm sharing them with you. So when you're Back2Macing, especially eyeshadows, now eyeshadows and lipsticks are probably the most popular items that you Back2Mac, and also lip gloss, because you go through a lip gloss maybe in a week, 2 weeks, especially if you use them more than once a day. Now, with the eyeshadows, you used to be able to just turn in 6 containers with no problem, especially for those of you guys who depot, like I do. I depot my eyeshadows, especially the limited edition, because those doesn't come in, refill pans or the pro pans. So the limited edition eyeshadows, I depot, and I used to be able to just, just turn in the empty containers, the empty pots for my free product. And now they changed that policy that you will need the pan in the pot in order for you to turn it in, because their policy has changed into it has to be a complete packaging item. So, which means the container, the plastic part that you pop out, and the pan. So now when you Back2Mac that, it will need to have the pan. So my tip for you guys is to go to Stars Makeup Haven and buy the empty pans, okay? Don't tell Mac about this. Okay, and they're pretty much cents a piece, and it's sold in increments of I think 15, 25, 50, and 100. So buy the empty pans and then glue the tin pan back into the pan, and then therefore, Back2Mac it. Hey, right? So, just make sure if you're using my method, that little lip that you kind of clip or snip with a wire cutter, just make sure to gently fold it backwards so that way you don't break it off. And if you happen to break it off, just simply glue it back on, if that's not to be a big deal. But, just try to get it back to looking like it's an empty pot, basically, is what you want to do. So anyway, the main change is that you will need the metal tin pan back into the pot if you're Back2Macing that. Okay, new things that you can also Back2Mac now For pros, those refill pens that you buy, because they sell them as is, which is a pen, a metal tin pen, and then the eyeshadow in it, you can now Back2Mac those. I have no idea. Before it was just plastic and glass containers. Now they can take those in for Back2Mac as well, which is kind of weird. But the thing is, it needs to have the magnet and the label in the back, and it has to be a Mac label. So it can't be something that you just printed. So it has to be the way it is. They will take it, they will look at it, they need to see the magnet, and they need to see the Mac label, you know, at the back. But now you can Back2Mac those pens. Also, Mac wipes. Now I go through Mac wipes like wipes. Okay, like Kleenex maybe. You can also Back2Mac those. I know I've been getting a lot of inquiries about if you can Back2Mac those because they're not technically plastic. You can Back2Mac them because the top part where you flip open is plastic. So as long as you have to turn in the complete packaging, so don't cut the foil out and turn it in, the plastic counts as a plastic container apparently. So that's kind of new, but you know, I knew that. I always turn in my Mac wipes before, but sometimes I question because there are some stores that doesn't, so it wasn't standardized back then. But now I guess it is. And also with the new packaging on their skincare line, the tubes, those are also, you know, they qualify for Back2Mac because they're technically plastic. Let's see, what else did she tell me? Okay, for those of you who are also wondering, the packaging, as in like the cardboard boxes or the plastic covers, you know, like the brushes come in this plastic cellophane thing, this doesn't qualify for Back2Mac. So only the containers that the products come in. Okay, and then the rest are pretty much the same. The lip glosses, the lipsticks have to have their caps. Pigments have to have their caps as well. It doesn't need to have the little plastic thing inside. Like when you open a new jar of pigments, it's got this little plastic like cover thing. It doesn't need to have that. And I asked her about that as well, and she said no, it doesn't need to have that. And oh, longwear. They have a new line of longwear right now, and I asked her about longwear. Now, longwear has two parts. It's got the color part and it's got the gloss part. Now, these are the 8-hour lipstick wear that you put the color part in, let it sit for 2 minutes, and then you put the gloss part. You have to turn those in complete, alright? So you need to have the color part and the gloss part and then the middle part, okay? If you're going to Back2Mac those. But they also sell just the refill jars on the gloss part, especially the clear ones. Okay, there's like, I think there's clear, there's mirrored, and I believe glitter. I'm not sure, but anyway, they have different finishes on the clear one. Now they sell those separately, so you can actually Back2Mac just the clear part. Okay, especially if you just use that to refill, because they sell that as is. Okay, for those of you guys who's inquiring about Back2Macing something that's part of a holiday set, like during the holidays they usually have sets like lip glosses, you know, there are like 6 different lip glosses in a set, or pigments, you know, there are like 5 or 6, you know, different pigments in a set. You will have to turn all those containers in, and they will only count those as one container to go towards your Back2Mac free lipstick. So if you turn in, you know, a small jar of pigment, they will not take that as, you know, as a container, but you will need to turn in all 5 or all 6 or however many pigments, you know, the collection came in or the set came in. So for those of you guys that's inquiring about that, there you go. So you will need to turn in the whole set of empty containers in that one particular set, and they will only count as one item towards your 6 for the Back2Mac program. So that's pretty much everything that Melissa has told me. Thank you so much for the information, Melissa, if you watch YouTube or anything like that, just in case you happen to stumble upon this video. And thank you for sharing that with me, and therefore, you know, I'm sharing it with my viewers. And for those of you guys out there, you know, just kind of like make note on all these stuff, so that way the next time you Back2Mac something, you know what to bring in. And again, for every 6 of these items or any empty containers or such, you know, you get free lipstick, a free lip gloss, or a free eyeshadow at a regular freestanding MAC store, or you can also turn those in at any of the MAC counters at a department store for a free lipstick. So thanks for joining me today, guys, and until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!